everybody, and welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I have the Hamilton book tag for you. I believe it was created by Maureen Keeley. Sorry if I'm wrong. I'll link whoever it is down below. But yeah, so this is the Hamilton book tag. So it's a bunch of questions based off of the musical Hamilton. So let's just dive in. So the very first question is the room where it happened. Name a book world that you would put yourself in. And I'm not answering this one because I feel like I just would rather be put into a contemporary world. You don't want to get put in the Hunger Games world because there's a chance you're going into the Hunger Games. You don't want to put yourself in the Divergent world because there's a chance that your class is the evil class. There's just no world that you want to be in. So I don't want to go into any world. Even Harry Potter has its things where I don't know. I don't want Voldemort to murder me. There's just so many things that can go wrong in those worlds. I'd rather just stick to a contemporary world. The Schuyler sisters name an underrated female character. So I think this is really difficult because I don't, a lot of these questions, I don't read a ton of YA, and I feel like back in the day when I used to read a ton of YA, you would have somebody that you would get to know over tons of books. And when you just read a standalone adult novel, you don't always get that connection to the characters like this. But I did decide to go with one that is a series, but I went with Rachel from Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. Especially if you've seen the movie, Rachel definitely has a bigger role in it than she does kind of in the rest of the, in the books. She is definitely somebody who stands up for her relationship and what she wants and who she is as a person. So I'm going to go with Rachel. Then my shot, I'm just making sure I go in order. A character who goes after what they want and doesn't let anybody stop them. So I'm going to go with our main character, Carly, from The Dream Daughter, because she ends up finding out that she's pregnant, and she is literally willing to do anything to help protect her daughter. She finds out that her daughter is going to have a heart defect, and she kind of has this opportunity to travel to the future to possibly save her daughter. So again, she'll do anything to protect her daughter, and I thought that would be a good answer. Stay alive, a character you wish would stay alive. And again, you're supposed to warn for spoilers, so spoilers are coming ahead. And this is for Mockingjay and Suzanne Collins. Originally, so I'm going to be spoiling this, so if you have not read this, fast forward a little bit or wait till I put the book down. Originally, I was going to say Finnick because I felt like his death just wasn't warranted. But then I was like, duh, Prim. Prim's death was one of those things that just really bothered me as a reader because I felt like the whole reason the Hunger Games series even exists is because Katniss stood up to save Prim's life. So then when Prim still died anyways, it just kind of felt like everything was for nothing, which is so not true because obviously the whole revolution kind of thing had to happen. But I don't know. Did Prim really need to die? I don't think so. Then Burn, a heartbreaking end of a relationship, which again, this is hard because I feel like most stories, couples end up together. Originally, I was thinking The Time Traveler's Wife. I don't remember the ending, but I remember crying a lot during that one, so I was like, maybe that one. But I ended up going with a recent one, and I ended up going with 28 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand. This book, I don't know if you can count it as an end of a relationship. I don't know. But I just know that I bawled my bloody eyes out at the end of this one. So it definitely was a heartbreaking end of a relationship. For sure. You'll Be Back, your sassiest villain. So again, I haven't really read a ton of fantasy with villains lately. My first thought went to Queen Lavanna, but I don't think she's really necessarily sassy. And then I was trying to think of a thriller novel where maybe the main character was sassy, but then that wasn't working. I don't know. Sassy was really hard for me. I feel like I've definitely read something with sassy, but I couldn't think of it directly. So I kind of went with The Thousandth Floor by Katharine McGee because they're all kind of sassy, crazy teenagers in this one. So I'm kind of going with that, but I don't know. I feel like I want to watch other people's videos of this tag to see what they said. But for some reason, sassy just, like, wasn't coming to me. I'm sure there's definitely someone in my bookshelves that is sassy. I just can't place it. Then we've got The Reynolds Pamphlet, a book with a twist that you didn't see coming. Again, you're not supposed to spoil anything, so I'm not going to say what the twist per se is, but this is the one that I always think of when I think of a twist I didn't see coming. And that's Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. This is my very first ever thriller novel that I've ever read, and it's always resonated with me. I've read it again, I've watched the movie, and to me, this is just a twist that I just remember being completely dumbfounded and being completely shocked with. So I'm going to go with Gone Girl. Then we've got Nonstop, a series that you marathoned, and I haven't marathoned a series in forever, and a lot of series that I used to, I think, binge read for the most part, I've since unhauled because I've gotten rid of a lot of my YA novels, but I do remember binge reading this series, and that is The Summer I Turned Pretty series by Jenny Han. I have the lovely Walmart edition that has all 3 books in one. It stinks because they've since come out with prettier covers for this series, and I wish I had that, but I'm not going to rebuy this for no reason. So The Summer I Turned Pretty series by Jenny Han, I just remember them reading super, super quickly and super fast, and yeah, series I've binge read, marathoned. Satisfied, a book with multiple POVs. I read a ton of books with multiple POVs, so I just kind of picked a random one, and that's The Guest List by Lucy Foley, because I keep talking about how much I love the multiple perspectives in this one, especially in the audiobook. I've certainly heard since me raving about the audiobook, people have a lot of issues with this audiobook, but for me, I loved it. But this one is told in the multiple perspectives of the people that attend this wedding. So we've got the bride, we've got the best man, we've got the sister, we've got the wedding planner, and we've got one of the, like, plus ones. And again, multiple perspectives, and I really liked this one. Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story? A book you feel like will be remembered forever. And I feel like this one is definitely difficult, especially in the day and age where I feel like everything is getting canceled and we're taking a more serious look of what's problematic and what's not problematic. And I don't know, like, eventually, like, I think my original answer could have been Harry Potter, but now J.K. Rowling has said some really awful things towards the trans community, and so I don't know necessarily if her books will continue to last. I know a lot of people are trying to separate her from the work, so that would have been my original thought. But then I was also thinking, not necessarily this book, but just, like, books by Agatha Christie, because she is the queen of mystery, and it's not like one of those books that, like, okay, well, Julius Caesar, we're still reading in class, in English class. Like, I feel like this is something that, like, people are still continuing to pick up for English classes, but also just for pure entertainment. So I kind of don't see these going away, but I do know that some of Agatha Christie's books are more problematic than others. So again, I don't know if she'll last. I think that we're going to have a more critical lens of what we let last and what we don't in this climate and culture. This one was really tough on me. I don't honestly know what will last forever at this point. The Bible? Does that count? Because I can't foresee somebody throwing the Bible away. Bonus questions. I'm not sure. I didn't watch Maureen's original video, so I don't know why these are bonus and not part of the original tag or what happened here. But Helpless, a relationship you pulled for from the beginning. There's a lot of relationships I pull from the beginning, especially considering most romances, you know who the couples are before it gets started. But I feel like in particular recently I was really pulling for the characters in My Favorite Souvenir to pull it together and get together. So I'm going to go with this one. Cute, traveling romance. Perfect for summer, even though it's snowing in the book. 10 Duel Commandments, your favorite fight scene. And again, I wanted to go with something that I've read recently because it's at least clearer in my head of remembering it, and that is Crave by Tracy Wolff. I feel like with Twilight, we kept getting hints at a fight, and fights wouldn't necessarily go down or happen, but there's a lot of fights in here that actually happen and aren't just talked about, so I'm gonna go with Crave. Say No to This, a guilty pleasure read. I have tons of books that I probably classify as guilty pleasure reads, but one that really stands out is Palm South University by Candy Steiner, because I think this is season 1. It's not called this anymore. I think it's Rush. She renamed all of the Palm South University books and gave them new covers, but I have one of the original-ish covers. But this follows a bunch of students in college and their frat life, and it's just pure fun, drama, sexy times, and chaos, but I'm here for it, so I love it. There's lots of different types of tropes in here, and book 5 comes out June 30th, and I cannot wait. Right Hand Man, your bro TP. I'm assuming it's kind of like your ultimate pairing for bros. And for this one, I kind of had 2 answers. I accidentally skipped a question, but we'll go back. Because these guys are actually brothers, I went with the brothers from Candy Steiner's On the Rocks. I tried not to pick Candy Steiner. There was another question where I almost picked Candy Steiner. She's got a lot of applicable books. But the brothers in here are the brothers in Feels Like Falling, the Summer Harbor series by Denise Hunter. I love series that follow brothers. In each book, in each of these series follows a different brother, and I like their relationships. What comes next, I meant to do this one first, is a series that you wish had more books, and I didn't really know what I wanted to pick for this one, but I went for a book that's actually a standalone that I slightly wished had more books. I understood why it didn't, but I kind of wish it had more, and that is The Grace Year by Kim Liggett. This is a standalone kind of dystopian novel, and I was here for it. I haven't really loved dystopian in a long time, so when I read this one, I wanted more. Understand why it didn't have more. I think there's a hint possibility that there could be more, so we'll see. And then the last one is What Did I Miss? And it's a book or series that you were late to reading, and kind of going on what we were talking about earlier. We got Harry Potter. I read book 3 right before the movie came out. I owned the first 4 books as a kid, but I read the 3rd one when the movie came out, and that was it. And I didn't read the actual Harry Potter series as a whole, or even the first book, until I was on BookTube. So I want to say 2013, which means I was 23 when I read the series for the first time. So I was a little late, even though the books came out when I was like 7, because I think the first one came out in 1997, which means I turned 7 that year. So the books had been out for a very long time, and I loved the movies. I just never read the books. Yeah. So that is the Hamilton tag. Let me know if you've done the tag down below, and I'd love to check it out, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye, everybody.